Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and Modern Warfare 3 has had a fairly major weapon rebalance hotfix. So the difference between a hotfix and a patch is that you get a hotfix without even knowing it. It's just kind of a playlist update type thing, whereas a patch, you have to download it, install it, and you're very aware that it happened. You don't have to read all this right now. I'm going to be coming back to it, but I want to talk about some of the changes that they've made in their game. So the first bullet point, fire rate normalization for assault rifles with undermounts. Now, here's the deal. If you attached a noob tube or a shotgun, either of the undermounts, to the CM901 and maybe some other assault rifles too, I'm not sure, I didn't test it, it got a rate of fire increase. In the case of the CM901, it went from 666 rounds per minute to 750, a notable increase, and it made a weapon that otherwise kind of sucked into a viable choice. It still was not quite as good as the ACR or Type 95, but it was good. It was something that you could use if you wanted to use it. Now, skip this gun, right? Just throw it in the scrap heap with like the 1887s or you know, the other guns that you only use if you want to, you know, fight with one arm behind your back. This to me is a disappointment. I liked it. I liked that, you know, students of the game got a little advantage and another gun that was a reasonable choice to use. And now that is gone. So I just want, before I move on to the next bullet point, to me, coming from Black Ops, everyone has been saying this gun's overpowered, that gun's overpowered, or OP if you're a gamer. But it's like balance is achieved in Modern Warfare 3 by so many guns being OP that none of the guns are OP. Like, yeah, that's how it works. You know, the Striker's a really powerful gun. The ACR is a really powerful gun. The Type 95 is a really powerful gun. The dual FMGs are really powerful. All of these things in the right situation are outstanding guns, more powerful than anything you'd see in Black Ops. But because you see them across all these different weapons, then suddenly, you know, it's like, yeah, all right, so the Striker's pretty rough when you're in the same room with it. Well, you know, the Type 95 is pretty rough when you're across the hall from it. And the you know, the auto aim and the way that snipers work now are pretty rough when you're down the map from these guys, and you're virtually unarmed with the Striker. So it's like all these game weapons are kind of balanced. They're really, really strong at what they do, but they're kind of weak at what they don't do. And yeah, so I thought the weapon balance in this game wasn't too bad. They're making an effort to rebalance it. In the case of the CM901, I think they just took it out of the running. Now it's no longer a viable weapon. But let's look at some of the other things that they've been up to. The next thing they did, FMG9 rebalancing nerf and Akimbo FMG9 rebalancing nerf. So, I had a little bit of a struggle figuring out exactly what they did to this thing. I took a screenshot of the hipfire spread of the FMG9 compared to the MP5, and it's bigger. It has the hipfire spread of an assault rifle, but I wasn't 100% positive if that's what the change was. So I went to Twitter and said, did it always have a bigger hipfire spread than like a regular SMG when you run it in Akimbo? And some guys told me that it did, and some guys told me that it didn't. And I even went and looked at YouTube videos, but because everybody's moving and the thing's getting bigger and smaller, none of them next to each other, I can't tell for sure. I can tell you that the recoil now on the FMG9, it feels like a lot. It feels like, you know, it's spraying bigger and wider and higher than it ever did before. Like it always jumped up when you shot it, but it feels like it's jumping up more than it used to. But I didn't have another guy to shoot at, and I don't know if the auto aim is helping me stay on target. So yeah, the FMG9 has been nerfed. It's going to take a lot of, you know, in-game play, I think, for me to really know whether or not this is an effective nerf or not. I know the FMG9 felt OP when you used it, but it didn't have that many rounds. I mean, heck, I was getting, I think, you know, 2 clips or 2 kills for this entire secondary, and then I'd, you know, be looking around for a new gun. I didn't mind the FMG9 too much. To me, you know, it felt like so many other guns. Yeah, it's OP, but they're all OP in their own way. The FMG9 kind of stunk across the map. It was a thrill when you actually got a cross-map kill with it. It can happen, but it didn't happen a lot. And up close, it was like a shotgun where you were just in a lot of trouble. But they nerfed this gun. It's hard for me to tell exactly what the nerf is, but I think it has more recoil. I think that's the difference. So the patch notes don't say exactly what changed, but if one of you guys knows for sure, if one of you guys has a ton of confidence, you really know, then we can help each other out. You can tell, you know, our little gamertag community here, you know, what that change was and help each other play better. So this next bullet point, Type 95 rebalancing nerf, reduce hip spread. When they say reduce hip spread, what they actually mean is increase hip spread. I guess it's a tricky thing to say, but I guess they're reducing the effectiveness of the hip spread. So I took a picture. I hope you guys can make that out. You know, you might want to watch this in 720p. I'll render it the best I can so that you can see it. But on the left, you're going to see the hip spread for the ACR. I'm not shooting here. And on the right, you see the crosshairs on the hip spread for the Type 95. They are bigger, right? So I'm comparing assault rifle to assault rifle, and the ACR has a tighter pattern for hip spread than the Type 95 does. And I think that gets us back to where burst weapons are traditionally in the Call of Duty series, which is at a distance, they're pretty darn deadly. Second only to snipers in terms of, you know, if you see a guy across the map, how much trouble you're in. But in the same room, usually you've got the advantage with them. Now, the Type 95, I still maintain that I'd rather have an MP7 if we're in the same room than a Type 95. But, you know, having said that, it wasn't too far off like shotgun effectiveness, right? You often got these one-shot hip-fire kills with the Type 95. And now, you're less likely to get that. I'm glad they didn't nerf this more. I was afraid that they were going to go, like, you know, Modern Warfare 2 models, if you guys know your COD history, and take the gun from being completely frustrating and OP and out of step with the rest of the guns in the game to being so worthless that you would never run those things. No, it doesn't seem like they did that. They just made the in-same room effectiveness of the Type 95 a little reduced, and I think it's still going to be a viable choice. I'm kind of happy that it's easy when you get a million people complaining about a gun to take that thing and make it total garbage, and I'm thinking that they didn't do that, so that's a good thing. So there's more to talk about, but that's it for pictures. The last thing is fix for ACR with red dot and shotgun. It turns out that when you had those two attachments, the red dot attachment and the shotgun attachment, that the bullets didn't exactly go where the red dot said they would. They went slightly off target. So they fixed that, and that's a good thing. The last one, the last two I should say, fix Type 95 bug related to dropping it and fix map exploits on Dome. I'm kind of happy that I don't even know what these things are, and that's when I'm really impressed by a patch. You know, when they fix problems that a guy like me, who plays probably 6 or 7 days a week, hasn't run into, then that's a really good thing. So I don't know what the bug was related to dropping it. I know that it's fixed now. I don't know if it's been haunting you guys. I hope not. And I haven't had any cheaters on Dome, you know, get to me. I don't know if they're getting outside the map or if they're getting inside something that they shouldn't be. But yeah. I'm kind of psyched. You know, these are two things that they fixed that have never troubled me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the patch update and learned something new. Now we'll hit them with an outro. You know, it always makes me happy when I feel like my videos are at the top of their game. And these two both are. You can click on them. They'll open as separate windows if you want to see both. The top one is Mail Monday. It's a guy, sister sex. I tell a guy how to be a better friend than he's being. Blowy duration issues and starting a business. Mail Mondays are always well received. And the bottom one is probably the best commentary I've made in the last 2 months or so. I'm kind of proud of it. The second half is better than the first half, but if you watch it through the end, I think that you'll enjoy that video. If you like this one, you can subscribe in the top right. There'll be more Modern Warfare 3 tips, patch updates, commentary by me, etc. Surprise video, always interesting, and have a good day.